Welcome to How to DJ with your Numark Party Mix. I'm your tutor, Joey Santos, and in this course, I'm going to show you how to mix with Numark's Party Mix controller and the bundled Serato DJ Lite software. I'm sure you're just as excited as I am to get into it, so let's dive right in with a quick overview. So the Numark Party Mix is a two-channel controller, meaning it's got two decks, one on the left and one on the right, plus you've got a mixer section here in the middle. And of course, you've got the lights over here in the back. So let's start off on the left side of the controller, also known as Deck 1. Here you've got the jog wheel, which is what you use to shuttle around a track. You can use this to speed up or slow down a track as well. Below the jog wheel, you've got the scratch button, and when this is enabled, you can use the jog wheel to scratch, which means that you can make it go wiki wiki when you move the jog wheel back and forth. More on that later in this course. Now, beside the scratch button is the headphone button, and this lets you hear what you're playing on this deck over in your headphones. I'll explain why you need that later. Below, you've got the performance pad section, which consists of 4 pads labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a pad mode button that lets you switch among 4 modes. Cue for triggering hot cues, loop for setting looping sections, sampler for playing sounds stored in Serato DJ Lite Sampler, and effect which lets you control Serato DJ Lite's effects. Now, if all that sounded like a strange alien language to you, don't worry, I'm gonna explain what those pad modes do later on in this course. Now, to the left of the pads, you're gonna find the pitch fader. This lets you adjust the tempo of a track in a virtual deck. Moving it up slows the track down, and moving it down speeds a track up. Finally, you've got your transport controls over here at the bottom of the unit. Sync lets you automatically match the tempo of this deck to a track that's already playing. Cue lets you set and jump to a cue point in a tune. And play pause lets you play or pause the track. Now, to the right of the unit, you'll find Deck 2, which has controls similar to Deck 1, except that over here, this controls the track you're playing in Deck 2 of Serato DJ Lite. I'm going to explain that later on in this module, and you're going to see how this controller is a mirror of the Serato DJ Lite interface. In the middle, you'll find the mixer section. There's a big browse knob here in the middle that you can use to go through your Serato DJ Lite library and crates, plus load buttons for decks 1 and 2. You also get gain knobs over here for adjusting the gain of the tracks that you've got loaded, plus high and low EQ knobs for boosting or cutting treble and bass frequencies respectively. In the middle, you've got the master gain knob for adjusting the volume of what's coming out of your speakers. And you've also got your cue mix knob over here. Remember the headphone button in the decks that I pointed out to earlier? When you've got one of them turned on, you can use the cue mix knob over here to adjust what you're hearing in your headphones, whether you want to hear more of the master output or what's coming out of the speakers or the headphone cue. Next, you've got the headphone gain knob, which lets you adjust the volume of your headphones. Rounding out the mixer are 2 volume faders for adjusting the volume of the decks, plus a crossfader over here in the middle. Crossfader determines what goes to the master output and out of your speakers. All the way to the left, and you only hear the left deck coming out of the speakers. All the way to the right, and you only hear the right deck in your speakers. If you put it in the middle, you can hear both at the same time. The crossfader also lets you gradually fade in from one deck over onto another, and that is a skill that all DJs must learn, and you're gonna find out exactly how to do that in this course. All right, now let's take a look at the back of the unit. There we are. So over here, you've got your 3 LED lights. You've got a button over here that lets you change the lighting pattern, plus an RCA master output. This is where you connect your speakers. You've also got a USB cable attached here, which is what you use to plug the party mix into your laptop. Now let's turn this over and take a look at the front of the unit. So over here, you've got an 1/8-inch headphone jack. This is where you're going to be plugging your DJ headphones. So that's it for this overview of the Numark Party Mix controller. So I just gave you a brief overview of the Party Mix controller. I want you to play around with the controls, have a spin on the jog wheels, and get used to the feeling of the unit. Don't hold anything back. This is a DJ controller, and DJs tend to work their gear hard. So just get comfortable with where everything is and get familiar. In the next lesson, we're gonna download and install the Serato DJ Lite software on your computer, so I'm gonna see you then.